Introducing Dr. Njakiri Damages.
Welcome to the show. My name is Dr. Damages. We are coming to you from the greatest city in the world,
New York City.
Yes. New York City is so great that a Dutch explorer in 1626 purchased the island of Manhattan, listen to this, from American Indians for trinkets and tools worth $24.
Only?
$24. Now, today, the Central Park alone, Central Park, is worth $39 trillion.
Wow.
39 trillion. Can you imagine that? If you had paid the thing in 1626, you would have been a rich man. You know, if the Central Park belonged to Nigeria, that the government of President Muhammad Buhari would have mortgaged that Central Park and used the money to go and borrow money from China. Do you know that? Did you hear that Buhari is borrowing $30 billion from China?
Wow.
30 billion on top of the ones we have already. Now, that is old news. The latest borrowing that they want to do will blow your mind. According to the Minister of Information, Mr. Lai Mohammed, Buhari's government wants to borrow $500 million to digitize NTA. Well, listen now, so that it can compete with CNN.
No way.
Now, you're free to laugh. I know. We don't make these things up. You know, look at the headline. Look at the headline. Am I editor of that newspaper? I'm not. Look at it. You know, Lai Mohammed wants $500 million to turn NTA around and have it compete with CNN. He did not say Channels TV. No, he's going for CNN. Ambitious man, you know. Let's try this. Let us sell Central Park and give Lai Mohammed $39 trillion. NTA will still look like this.
At times we lost even our products, our petroleum product. We even lost our drivers.
Information that we have gathered indicates that at the moment,
the quality of the pictures will still look like that. I'm telling you, it's not about money. They don't care. There's no professionalism, nothing, zero. Now, this is another comic headline that came out last week from Nigeria. Take a look. Take a look. Huh? Yes, we have defeated Boko Haram, but facing small challenge of terrorism. You know, who can beat that? You can be lucky to defeat that, but are you able to crawl out of your grave? That is the main reason why in 2,000 years nobody has resurrected. Nobody. Oh. Talking about death. Here is Nigeria's Senate President talking of a woman who was alleged to have killed her husband to death. Watch.
A woman who was alleged to have killed her husband to death.
Now, stop laughing. That man, the Senate President, has a PhD in remote sensing from Cranfield University in the UK. It's not a small deal. He must have sensed some things remotely that small people like you and I cannot see about how the woman killed the husband to death. And that woman must be very wicked. It is not enough that she killed her husband. You know, she went as far as killing him to death. You see, here are some three people. I just picked three. Three people who have killed Nigeria to death in the last 5 years. I'll play for you things they said before they were in position of power. And let's start with the small man. You know what I mean? Let's start from the governor of Kaduna State, Governor El-Rufai. When he was not the governor, he had a complete understanding of Boko Haram insurgency and what should be done about it. Watch him.
We are just applying military force and we think we can resolve our insurgency. It's not going to happen. I've been in government. I've run a territory. And I know the amount of information I get, security reports that I get as minister. The president gets 50 times that. And I put it to you, and I challenge anyone, including the DGSSS, to this. The SSS know who these insurgents are. They are not ghosts, they know them. The president knows them.
Yes! Now, his solution to the killings by all these militia and Fulani headsmen is to go to neighboring countries, and pay Fulani headsmen to stop them from killing his people in Kaduna State. Watch him.
And yes, we offered them money. We said, look, if we have to pay you not to kill our people, we're happy to do it.
Is that the only solution that you're adopting, to pay them to stop the killing?
That is the only solution we can see. If anyone has a better solution, you should give.
Yes! You see, if you know a better solution, tell El Rufai. He's telling you, he's begging you. Forget that he knew the solutions before he became governor. Now, he's saying if you know a better solution than giving money to people coming to kill some people, tell him. He will stop giving them money. Otherwise, he will continue to give them money. They come and kill, he give them money, they come and kill. When they need money, they come. Now, let's go to the man that is now the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the chief security officer of the country. Before he was commander-in-chief, he had all the solutions. Watch him.
132,000 active frontline personnel. Why can't the Nigerian military take on and win this battle with Boko Haram?
Well, the government is not prepared to fight Boko Haram.
Yes! The Jonathan's administration was not prepared to fight Boko Haram. That was the problem. And that sounded right to Nigerians, and they voted Buhari in to deal with this Boko Haram as a former army officer, as a general, you know. He was going to do it. Then, Buhari was full of righteous indignation about the failure of this Jonathan's administration to rescue our Chibok girls. Watch him.
They still can't give a cohesive reason why the Nigerian government was unable to rescue these children from the hand of the insurgents.
Ringing in my head is they still cannot give cohesive reason why. You know, cohesive reason why. Cohesive reason virtually for everything. Cohesive. Is that not the same thing happening in your head since 2015? They can't give cohesive reason why. They can't. Now, for those who feel that certain things are hidden from Buhari's head, according to Honorable Kazuri, certain things are hidden. Things like the responsibility of the government to protect lives and properties. You know, he seemed to know all these things when Jonathan was the president. You know, that responsibility, everything, his job. Well, listen to him.
But the government has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory in Nigeria.
Yes. Yes. Now, here is Buhari's leading headline for today, this week. Watch. Yep. After the AU meeting in Addis Ababa, Buhari flew straight to Maiduguri to go and look at this Boko Haram attack, the latest one that killed over 30 people. When he got there, you know what he did? He blamed the leaders of Borno State and said that they should have stopped this ending attack by Boko Haram. He blamed them. With Buhari, it is always someone else's fault. It's never his fault. Come on, he's the president. But this time, Borno people were not taking it. Oh yeah, the spell has fallen off from their eyes. Here they are, booing the president, a whole Muhammadu Buhari. Watch. They were not taking it. We don't want you carry your BS and go. This must be painful for Buhari. You know what I mean? From Sir Buhari to we don't want you. In just 4 years. Please, bring back Sheikh Gumi. Let him say something. Yes.
Anybody killed under your regime, you are responsible for that blood.
I'm not the one saying it. He's saying it. Okay. One last one. I'm talking of people who killed Nigeria to death in the last 5 years. Who can ever forget the former governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babatunde Fashola? You remember him? Okay. As governor, he said a serious government will solve the electricity problem in Nigeria in 6 months. You know we don't have light in Nigeria. He said it will be solved in 6 months if we have a serious government. Watch him.
Power generation is not rocket science. It's just generator. So just remember and imagine that your I better pass my neighbor in 1 million times its capacity, but in one place. So if you can make that size of 1 kilowatt, you can make a power turbine of 1,000 megawatts.
Yes, power generation was not rocket science when Jonathan was in power. It was simple. 5 years after, power generation has suddenly become rocket science. He was handed over the ministry. Solve it. 5 years he couldn't solve it. It's now rocket science. Why? You see, the man was very emphatic about how government works when he was leaving office as governor of Lagos State. He was just blabbing his mouth. This is how government. Listen to him.
Government. If I go to any city or any state, once I get in there, the first thing I'm looking at is how are they moving refuse here? How is law and order working here? What's the urban planning like? And I get a sense immediately of whether I'm in a dysfunctional country or I'm not.
QED. Of course, very easy. I wonder why the government he has been part of for the last 5 years has not been able to do things, make things right, work in any way. Who did this to us? More importantly, how do we rescue Nigeria from people who are killing Nigeria to death? How? Why not have the Senate president? Yes, Dr. Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, PhD, to help us out. Listen, the man is a smart man. Forget about him. Listen to him.
And time has come for us to ensure that governance is done like it's business. You employ someone, give that person a target. He accepts on the basis of the fact that he believes he can meet the target. If he doesn't meet the target, and there is no explanation, cogent reasons why he fails, he should go.
Yes! Time has come for us to ensure that government is run like businesses. If you give someone a target and they don't meet the target, you fire them. If Nigeria is a business, are we going to pay our senators and members of the House of Rep the money we pay them? Do you think so? Anyway, bring back the senator. Bring him back. Yes!
When we hold people responsible, they are likely to perform better.
When we hold people responsible, they are likely to perform better. Exactly. So why are we not holding them responsible? Why? You see, when we are, I don't understand. When are we going to start letting people go? And who will lead us in that process to let people go? If they are not good, go. So enters the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Yes! Few weeks ago, the Supreme Court of Malawi threw away the result of the presidential election in that country. The court said they should go and redo it. Now, that becomes the second court in Africa to demand such in history. The second court. The first was the Supreme Court in Kenya. Do you think that 100 years from now, Nigeria's Supreme Court will ever do something like that? You know what I mean? There is trouble at Nigeria's judiciary. Trouble. Here is one problem with the court in Nigeria, as articulated by Honorable Kazure. The man is good. Watch him.
I want to draw your attention to the fact that the salary of a judge in London is £9,000. a colleague of a judge in Nigeria, which is equivalent to 5 million naira in Nigeria. This is one of the reasons why there is no corruption in their judiciary system. But in Nigeria, a salary of a higher court judge, Mr. Speaker, is 500,000 naira. And even the justice of the Supreme Court did not earn up to 1 million naira a month.
Yes, it is more than that. It's more than that. How much does the Supreme Court judge in Kenya make, and in Malawi? How much? In Kenya is 792,000 shillings, which is about 7,820 something dollars. And in Malawi, it is 300,000 Malawi kwacha in a month, which is about $410. So what is the problem? Meanwhile, the Nigerian Supreme Court judges, they make about $3,000. So why can't they say the truth? Why can't they do the right thing? You see, I don't know about you, but I am sick and tired of the Nigerian Supreme Court. They keep doing like this and like that and that. You know what? Honorable Kazuri, come and demonstrate it for us.
It's doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking, shaking.
Yes, they keep going like this, you know. Yes, today they will rule for this side. Tomorrow they will rule for the other side. Listen.
Hopes of Mr. David Lyon of the All Progressives Congress to be sworn in as the next governor of Bayelsa State tomorrow, Friday the 14th, have been dashed by the Supreme Court, which today nullified his election and that of his running mate.
Yes, it happened. Imagine this. Governor-elect David Lyon was at the venue where he was rehearsing how to take this salute ceremony for his swearing in as governor of Bayelsa State. When the news came, his first lady was ready. His girlfriends were ready. The slave queens, they were all in place. Everybody in their positions. And then it happened. Yes, David Lyon has been sent packing even before he got his first security vote. You know, he would have been okay if he just signed that first security vote, you know, but he couldn't. But why? Listen to the reason.
In a judgment that lasted barely 30 minutes, the Supreme Court held that from the documents submitted to INEC, the deputy governor-elect forged certificates and, in the manner of a chameleon, used different names when it suits him. Justice Eko, who identified the discrepancies in the names on the primary school leaving certificate, General Certificate of Education, GCE, first degree, NYSC discharge certificate, and the master's degree, which bore different names, explains that Mr. Degi Eremenyo did not approach lawful authorities to correct the multiple names on the certificate.
Wait a minute. There has to be a good explanation for this. First of all, the names are related. It's not like they are different names. Maybe misspelled, you know, in some ways. And you know, that's not a big deal. Or changes needed because some people, bad people, were trying to steal his destiny. You know, maybe that's what he's trying to do. People do these things to survive, you know?
The Supreme Court, therefore, came to the conclusion that the primary school certificate obtained in 1976, GCE in 1984, first degree in 1990, and others were products of forgery, and that the deputy governor-elect violated Section 182 of the 1999 Constitution.
Come on, Supreme Court judges, come on. Are you people just not jumping into conclusion here, you know? Now, you may not care about Bayelsa State, and I don't care. Most people don't care who governs Bayelsa State. I don't even know where it is. But this judgment has serious implications. Well, for the record, I've been to Bayelsa State. let me tell you one implication of this. The so-called APC leader, APC's national leader, you have to put national to show that he's not a small beginning. Mr. Bola Tinubu has the same problems. You know what I mean? The names in his first school living certificate, his high school certificate, his university certificate are all different. Different names. In fact, the names of his first school, even for primary school, his secondary school, his university are different from where he actually went to. Some of them don't even exist. Recently, it was confirmed that his date of birth is also all over the place. Documents that Bola Tinubu submitted to INEC when he was governor, when he ran for governor, is enough to put him in jail. So does the Supreme Court want this judgment to stand, to be precedent? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will be in trouble. Here is the big one. The current deputy governor of Bayelsa State, who was sworn in last week, also forged his certificate. Not just one, certificates. His degree is said to be fake. Oh yeah, his degree is said to be fake. His NYSC letter of exemption is also said to be fake.
Wow.
Oh yeah, in the letter he gave INEC, it said that he graduated on February 3rd, 1998. And then he got his letter of exemption on February 2nd, 1998. He was exempted from NYSC a day before he graduated. You see, this is what happens when you have small boys forging things for you. If you want to forge things, go to Ojuoleba under the bridge. There are professionals there who will do it, not just small boys. Anyway, in the 2 NYSC exempt letters that he submitted, he had 2 different misspellings of his name. 2 different spellings. A federal court ordered his arrest last November, and he went underground. Now he's deputy governor. Well, only in Nigeria. Only in Nigeria. Meanwhile, APC's chairman, Adam Oshiomhole, is not taking this Supreme Court judgment in Bayelsa State well. He's not taking it well. Watch him.
Following the verdict of the Supreme Court, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Comrade Adam Oshiomhole, is insisting that nobody will be sworn in as the governor of Bayelsa State. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, Mr. Oshiomhole explains that no other candidate has the constitutional spread to be sworn in as governor.
It simply means that there will be no government in Bayelsa State.
Wait. I thought once the Supreme Court says something, nobody can challenge it. Is that not what it is? Oh yeah, bring back Adam Oshiomhole when let's rewind what he said when what's his name? Hope Uzodinma, yes. When the Supreme Court declared Hope Uzodinma as the winner of Imo State election when he came forth in the actual election. Bring Oshiomhole, let's hear him. Watch.
The PDP yesterday used language that even people who are partially mad in a democracy are not expected to use.
He said even those partially mad are not expected to use such words. The same kind of words he started using now.
Make very, very reckless statements that are designed not only to intimidate the judiciary, but one that is calculated to lay foundation for carefully planned unrest with a view to undermining the peace and stability of the Nigerian nation.
You see, about the Supreme Court, here is what I think. This is what I think is going on. The Supreme Court is overcompensating for what they did in Imo State. The world is watching them and about to stop them from parading themselves on international stages everywhere as judges. Oh yeah, I heard that there are even discussions to ban their children from traveling abroad and plans to send those who are already there schooling back to Nigeria. So that may be the reason why they are doing all these things. Maybe there is hope that we can save our judiciary in Nigeria. Honorable Kazuri, come and help me.
It's on top of the water, never sink now. But before it's nearly start sinking. Now we are saving it small.
Yes. Now, talking of courts, the case of Omoyele Sowore, the publisher of Sahara Reporters, came up last week. Oh yeah, he went back to court again. Listen to this.
A federal high court sitting in Abuja has fixed the 11th to the 13th of March 2020 for the trial of the convener of Revolution Now, Mr. Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare. The trial judge, Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu, fixed the date after the defendants pleaded not guilty to an amended 2-count charge of conspiracy to commit treasonable felony and treasonable felony.
Oh yes, the government is throwing out the old charges and bringing new charges. I don't get it. In court, to give Sowore support, or people like Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, when Soyinka, an interesting thing happened when Soyinka saw Shehu Sani, the former Afro senator, coming to see Sowore. This is what happened.
He said, I am another criminal. Just making up the numbers of criminals.
I know. We have to form a club.
Exactly. A club of criminals. Considering that you are the oldest. And a retired one. That was my president. Yes. President of the Criminals
Club. He called him the newest criminal in town. You know, the club of criminals, both active and retired criminals. That's what they are. Drama in Nigeria. I don't get it. Serious things are happening. People are dying and government is busy wasting time talking nonsense. Anyway, before I go, I want to tell you about this moving story of a Nigerian-American actor called Obi Ndefo. Yeah, he is a Yale University-trained actor. He appeared on TV shows like Dawson's Creek, my favorite show, Dawson's Creek, Star Trek, The West Wing, wonderful, wonderful show, Crossing Jordan, Angel, and many others. Last year, he finished teaching yoga class in Los Angeles and stopped by a shop to buy things for dinner. No more things. While putting the things he bought inside his car, an SUV slammed into him. The impact sliced off one of his legs, and the other one was amputated in the hospital. Sad story. Watch.
What is the best way to look at what happens? Do you know what I mean? Is it a loss? Is it a tragedy? I started to realize day by day that who says that this isn't an opportunity?
An opportunity? When I heard that, I sat up.
You know, what constitutes a something good or something bad is a little bit in our mind.
He's not done. He's not done. Some of us may need to hear this. Watch him.
I'm in a new body now. Life goes on, you know, and so my yoga practice has just had to shift. You know, there's some things I can't do as well and some things I can do even better.
At this point I said some people are stronger than others.
My father is Nigerian, West African. My mother is American, you know, Russian, Polish, Jewish descent. I grew up in a family that's very, very human and about humanity.
I'm sure you are, in your head, you are asking, how does he do this? How does he do this? You're not alone. Listen to him.
It essentializes you so that your purpose becomes crystal clear. I don't have time for negativity, you know? It's like there are people counting on me, and I think...
Now, this is deep. I have no time for negativities. I hope you heard that. Here's my concern for today. It's taken from page 419 of the book, The Grass is Greener by Lou Holtz. And it says, show me someone who has done something worthwhile, and I will show you someone who has overcome adversity. I go far to get this. Show me someone who has done something worthwhile, and I will show you someone who has overcome adversity. Until next week, I'm Dr. Damages. I diagnose.
You heal yourself.
Woo! Adversity. You have to overcome it to achieve something. If you haven't, you're not going anywhere. So now that I've done my job, it's still saying 26% of you are watching, subscribed. The rest, what's the rest? 74% of you have not subscribed. Just click. Bim. Can you imagine that? 76% have not subscribed. That's what they told me. I begged them. Normally they don't talk to people unless you have 100,000 followers or subscribers. But I begged them. I said, I don't know what the problem is. They said, look at the issue. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm saying this. I know you've subscribed. Yeah, it's my man. Yeah. Thank you. Aha. Madam, just tell your daughter now. The one click is no, you don't pay for it. It's free. Just click. So you don't miss any video. It will come to your email. Bam! As soon as I drop it. Bam! Thank you. Yes! Thank you. I appreciate this.